You know, every now and then I come across something that just kind of feels really weird that I'm even talking about it. Like, how did we end up here? Like, seriously, how did we get here? Here's the thing, if I don't want to take pictures of you because I don't agree with you for political reasons, for religious reasons, for whatever the case may be, I don't want to, okay? If you're gay and you want me to take pictures of you and my beliefs don't align with your lifestyle, I have the right to do that. What's wrong with that? If you're white and you want me to be your wedding videographer and I don't want to do that because for some reason I just don't feel comfortable with it, there's nothing wrong with that. If you're Hindu, Muslim, Jewish, whatever the case may be, if you have an African wedding and they have some rituals that they want to practice and I don't feel comfortable with that, I have the right to say no to that. But that's not the case today, okay? Apparently, there's a wedding photographer. There's a story that's going on about a federal judge who dismissed a preliminary injunction aimed at protecting religious freedom of artists. Federal judge dismissed a preliminary injunction aimed at protecting religious freedom, as essentially ruling that a New York photographer cannot decline to photograph same-sex weddings because of her religious convictions. Okay, there's so many wrong things about that on so many levels that I don't really understand what's really going on. Okay, it's not a secret. We know, yes, we understand that, there's a lot of talk in this world about injustices, religious freedom. Where does a line of religious freedom become skewed when the powers of the government or governments begin to sanction or to legislate certain things that are in favor of certain minorities or certain groups? Where do we skew the line of I'm gonna do me and you do you? So where do we have a problem where those lines become skewed? For some reason, it seems like with some people in this world, they just haven't gotten it right. It seems like it's about, I need my rights, I need to be recognized as your equal, I need to be recognized as, I don't know, special. Maybe it's special treatment, I don't know. I don't know what you're looking for, I don't know what you want, but the fact of the matter is, where is this all going? You gotta really kind of ask yourself. Is there gonna come a time where people are gonna walk into a church and demand to be married even though they know that the church does not observe same-sex relationships? What are you gonna do? Are you gonna force them? Besides the point, how would you even know that a person is refusing you a service for more reasons than they might be stating? I could give an excuse and say, I'm fully booked. I could give you another reason and say, well, it's just because I'm fully booked. That's just about the only excuse I can think of. But the fact is, people can give you any kind of reason why they don't really want to work with you or they're refusing to give you their services. Heck, I don't even have to explain myself. I could just simply not give you my service. So what's the difference here? That's not gonna happen, I can tell you now, okay? That's like a lost battle before it even starts. So who gives a right for somebody to force somebody to take somebody's job or a job that they don't really want to do? If somebody walks up to me and they want me to be their videographer and I don't want to, for whatever reason, because I don't want to, I just don't want to. Yo, fam, come on. Are you kidding me? Sometimes I feel like I'm being punked by what media is saying out there. Like, it's preference. Some people don't want to do businesses with Asians, black people, with white people. That's common in the industry. Tough luck, I don't know. Maybe I don't really want to work with females for some reason. That girl reminds me of some crazy ex-girlfriend of mine or something, I don't know. But that's my preference. Why does anybody have more right to have preference over certain things but not others? You do you, I do me. Whatever happened to that? It goes on further to say New York has a compelling interest in ensuring that individuals without regard to sexual orientation have equal access to publicly available goods and services, and that the accommodation clause is narrowly tailored as applied to plaintiff to serve that interest. I have no idea what that means, but you can't force me to do what I don't want to do though. If I don't want to be of service to you, you can always go to the next person. Why not just look for the person that wants to do that job? I don't really understand. The court's decision continues down a dangerous path of the government compelling artists to speak messages that violate their religious beliefs or imposing steep fines, closing their businesses or throwing them in jail. Can they really do that? Fam. Seriously, can you really do that? Listen to it. Meanwhile, LGBT advocates praised the decision as a huge win for equality and inclusivity. That has nothing to do with that. Absolutely nothing to do with that. Nothing to do with that whatsoever. That is a lie. This is the deception that I keep seeing being skewed. This whole idea of equality and inclusivity, it has absolutely nothing to do with that. Point blank. I can sit down and have a meal with you regardless of your sexual orientation or regardless of how you identify yourself or whatever the case may be. We can sit down and have a conversation. I got no problem with that. However, when it comes to there's a specific line not to cross in terms of understanding the moral steep. When it comes down to how we interpret certain things, we have differences, lots of differences. Let's not pretend like those differences are not there, okay? When it comes to that and we sit down and we have a conversation about certain things, there are certain things that I'm not going to agree with you about. And I have the right to not agree with you about that, so long as we understand each other in terms of where do I stand, where do I draw my lines, where do you draw your lines, you do you, I do me. I'm not going to take pictures, I'm not going to do anything that seems like I'm now sort of promoting what you're doing or your lifestyle or your choices or whatever the case may be, because I don't agree. And that's supposed to be okay, by the way. Isn't that supposed to be okay? I thought this was supposed to be okay. I thought it's about being inclusive. Because inclusivity is not supposed to mean exclusivity of certain views, unless if it's just about what you want and not what others think, say, and want. Then we're not really being inclusive now, are we? Inclusivity is about being inclusive of people and how they orientate themselves within society. There's a really big difference between you being refused to access into a restaurant because of your sexual orientation and you asking me to attend your wedding or to do something for you personally. That's a personal service that I'm rendering that agrees with what you're doing. There's a really big difference between those two things. There is a big difference. In the same sense that you can't force me to live with somebody that I don't want to live with. But that doesn't mean that makes me a hotel. You need to equate me to an example of a hotel that's supposed to serve the general public. As long as you got money, you got the bills, you got the money. Hey, money knows no discrimination, okay? Money knows no race. Money knows no gender. Money doesn't know no politics. You got the money, they should allow you to sleep in there, do your thing, whatever the case may be. That's different from coming over to my place and say, yo, can I Airbnb your place? And I'm like, no, I don't want that though. Why? I don't know you, okay? And for that matter, my household is a Christian household. What do you come in my household to do? For what reason? I've got every reason to question you. I've got every reason to deny you access. I have to stand my ground. How I apply that is open for interpretation. That's a really huge gap right there. How I apply that is entirely up to me. Okay, guys, I'm gonna stop right there because topics like this are always a little bit weird. I never really know what's really going on and what's up. But this is a really weird and interesting time that we live in. I feel like that's all I have to say. I got nothing else to say. If you made it this far, like, subscribe, leave a comment. Do tell me what you think about all this crazy nonsense. And do you think that governments are going a little bit far? Do you think that LGBTQ activists are going a little bit too far with regards to what they're pushing for and how they're sort of skewing the line of equality and inclusivity and discrimination? There's a reason why you cannot enforce relationships. There's a reason why God is God and people are people. When all said and done, there's a reason why grace is grace. God loves us enough to allow us to choose Him. You cannot force relationships on people. You cannot force love. You cannot enforce people to get along. So people are just crazy and God is always gracious. And I'm grateful for that. Because if God had to enforce Himself on us conditionally, yeah, we are going to hell. And I feel like right now, we're kind of like in hell with all this crazy nonsense that we're dealing with. Whew. We all need a little bit of grace for each other and lots of prayers. Thanks for watching, guys, and do take care of yourself. Awesome.